have a secret to tell you. Steve went away this weekend to visit his mom. He's a good son. He's a good son. But while he was gone, me and this guy.
Hey, what's up?
Hey! Me and intern Chris went out and we had a night on the town and we met a very interesting guy. Intern, did you have a good time?
I had a good time. I had some fun. Talked to a lot of people, you know. Yeah. I don't know what to say. Want to be better out there to get you in here. Let them know what came out. Yeah, you definitely making the video now.
How much they paying you? Oh, it's not very nice, so.
Okay.
Like, get a little closer to some of the price.
Where you at? For a shot?
Yeah. You don't gotta just gotta stand by.
That panoramic for a shot. Well, I do.
Yeah, you don't gotta get that deep. You kinda like
We're not putting up with other stuff.
I'm Joshua Ashford. I go by the pen name Joshua Hundredfold. That's where a lot of my work that I do professionally.
Okay.
And yeah, I draw comics. I had a web comic come out and I had an exhibition for it too.
Okay.
So,
that gallery opening thing was dope. I've actually never even would have thought of something like that. Have you?
Thank you.
That was just came up with it out the blue, or?
I actually took some inspiration from a manga artist that I'm a pretty big fan of. His name is Eldo Yoshimitsu.
What's
he
he
writes
write?
this book called Ryoku, and it's based on this crime boss. Her name is Ryoku. He does his whole operation independently.
Okay.
And he does exhibitions and stuff for his work whenever he drops a new graphic novel for Ryoku. He's just like a really big inspiration of mine. Okay. I knew that there was some way that I wanted to monetize my art, but I really wasn't focused on that when I was making the book. I was more focused on just creating a comic so people could see my work. I wasn't trying to like sell anything really.
Okay.
So I just wanted to do like one-of-one prints in a gallery exhibition, which is what my exhibition was, and just sell each page like that. And I'm gonna do the next gallery that I'm gonna do is gonna be in the same kind of vein.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about NeoDetroit.
Yeah, so NeoDetroit, again, I've been working on it my whole life. It's the culmination of so many different ideas that have resulted in what like NeoDetroit is, if that makes sense. So I've really been working on it since I was like in grade school, you know? Okay. And in you know, high school and that type of thing. And there was so many different ideas that I wanted to implement in my first book.
Okay.
And again, like NeoDetroit is the result of that. So
what's the basic plot?
So the story centers around a character named June, and it takes place in the year 2068. Starts with the years from 2015 or 2018, my fault. In 2018, there was a nuclear war. There was a World War III between the United States and North Korea. And the whole world just pretty much got like destroyed and like engulfed in war and that type of thing. And people banded together and remade what they could. They kind of like salvaged what they could. And it kind of resulted in these 4 like neo cities. And one of them in the Northwest or in the Northern Hemisphere is North America is Detroit. So it's NeoDetroit, Neo-Moscow, Neo-Paris, and Neo-Tokyo. Okay. And those are like the 4 cities that people know in the future in NeoDetroit. The story centers around June, who is fighting in this crucible. It's called the Ring of Slashed and Burned Fire. That's the name of the crucible she fights in, and she's the current champion. And she's trying to fight the Baron of NeoDetroit. His name is Zero. So that's kind of like her whole goal. She thinks she's trying to exact revenge against Zero because she thinks that, you know, he's guilty for doing something, you know. What I'm going to do for, just to hash the story out a little bit more is during Inktober is when I'm going to drop the October. For those of you who don't know, it's October. It's like a online social media marketing thing. That a lot of, it's not marketing, but it's just like a time that a lot of artists just like to take a part in. We draw every day, and I'm going to be releasing the second issue like that just to, you know, maybe world build a little bit more and just kind of get people a little bit more in depth. And I was thinking about doing a prequel before, or that'll take place before this, and that'll be called June's Holiday. So
nice title.
Thank you, thank you. It's based off of me. It's a whole story that's like involved on that. Like centering around my birthday. My birthday is on the June holiday. So yeah, and then like her name in the comic book is June Holiday. So it's
that's actually her own name.
In the book, her name is June Holiday. So
Okay.
it's kind of like, you know, weirdly, like, you know, again, this is so many ideas over so many different years that like culminated in my first, you know, title and that kind of thing. So I had a lot of time to think about it. Like I've really been working on it probably since I was in like grade school.
Oh man.
You know,
You were saying something to me about art earlier. We were talking about just like how you see the world.
No, we were talking about building your visual library as an artist. When you growing up and when you're drawing, a lot of times I use a lot of references in my work too. You got to use references as an artist, especially when you're like painting and doing, you know, digital painting, that kind of thing, lighting. A lot of times it takes references that you create yourself or that you see and, you know, store in your visual library. But you want to try to get to a point where like eventually you can just visualize it in your mind, and then just almost kind of like plot it out, but almost just kind of like trace it. If it's weird, it's kind of like like a very opaque layer where you're like drawing on top of. Is kind of how I think of it. You know? That helps me a lot. When I'm plotting out a story or plotting out a scene, I just think of it over and over again in my head until it's like almost kind of like second nature. And every time I'm out in public, like talking to you or just when I'm looking at, you know, skylines, you know, in other cities, that type of thing, I'm always neighborhoods, anything. I'm trying to like take little snapshots of like what things look like so I could just kind of like draw back on it in the future when I need to draw a scene with two people talking or, you know, someone in a neighborhood walking a dog, you know, doing something like that.
And do you also look at cinematography, like when you watch movies, like for angles and things like that?
Definitely. I actually take a lot of, one of my methods that I use when I'm creating is I watch movies and TV shows. Again, I'm a movie buff. I'm a movie dude. Movies, TV shows, and I really just screenshot different angles that I like from like anime, that type of thing. And then I'll like reference that back if I want to create like a scene that is reminiscent of that, you know, someone falling out of a building or falling out of a window or something, you know. That would be a little bit more difficult to draw since I haven't seen somebody like physically fall out of a window like that, but I could refer back on like those, you know. I have like files and those types of things that I just screenshot and just go back to when I need to create something like that.
So which one do you prefer? Because you write and draw. Do you got equal passion for both, or?
Well, it's growing. My passion for writing is really growing. I'm an artist. I've been drawing since like, again, my dad was an architect. So, and he's an artist. He was really into comic books growing up, Toonami, anime. When I was growing up, I had a teacher named Mr. Nagy. He was responsible for me having my first piece in an art gallery. I had my first piece in the DIA when I was 9. And it was a self-portrait. Yeah, he really like helped me nurture like my art and like really put me on the path where I could like, you know, he used to say that there's no mistakes, that you have like happy accidents.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, I know. That's like something you tell a kid or something, but I like never forgot it, you know. And whenever I like mess up, I'll be like, hey, you know, it's like a happy accident.
That's good mistakes. There's no mistakes, there's happy accidents.
Yeah.
Mr. Nagy?
Mr. Nagy. Yeah,
Mr. Nagy, we're going to use your quote in the Quote of the Week video.
Okay, yes.
I'll give him a shout out.
Definitely. I love him for life. He really helped me out a lot.
Man, that's what's up. That's what a teacher should be.
Where can we get it? NeoDetroit.
Also, NeoDetroit is being marketed on my social media right now. It's going to be available on my website. My website's going to be up by like the end of the week. So,
what's some social media handles people can get you at, like Twitter, Instagram?
My pen name on all social media is Joshua 100fold. You can find me there. My website is 100fold.net. That's 100X.
100X.
Okay.
For the 100-fold. Yeah, it's being marketed on my social media. When I made the book, I wanted to market it as a social media comic book, like a web comic, but a social media comic.
Right.
Because I know a lot of young people, like me included, sometimes we kind of got like really short attention spans. It's hard for us to like, you know, stay hooked on one thing or really like keep our focus on something for an extended period of time. So I wanted to just be in people's face with it. I wanted them to not have to click over to this or click over, you know, people will be like, listen to my SoundCloud link or that type of thing or whatever. I wanted them to just read it, you know? And that's why I was doing it on social media. I marketed it on social media first, trying to build a fan base so that when I get more into my career, I can have people who follow my work. I'm really just trying to get people to see my work at this point.
So there you have it. Steve, hope you're surprised.
Had a lot of fun without you.
We had a good
We
time.
love you, Steve.
So yeah, Josh, he was a pretty interesting guy, man. He was a nice guy to meet. It's nice to see a young guy out there really on the grind, really putting his passion behind this project and finding new and innovative ways to get things out there.
He was explaining how like everybody needs to have like a visual archive within them. Oh, Zoom in. What's up? How you doing today? I loved basically like the way he articulated his process, his creative process behind you know, creating NeoDetroit. What's his inspiration? How he was able to like take that inspiration and like form it into something new, like, and not plagiarize. You know what I mean? It's really it's really great to hear somebody like decompress like the creative process.
Anything else you want to say to Josh? Or about Josh?
I don't know. Yeah. Good luck, man. I love it. I love.
Good luck, man. It was great. So like,
comment,
and share,
and subscribe. That's the important one.
Oh yeah. And Steve, next time you go out of town, I'm gonna do something else. It's not over, Storiers.